Don't block the camera. Don't block the camera. Sounds good.
This one's not filled, I can scoop that.
All right. We might actually have some room for some people. All right. Very good. There we go. Who wants to hit the lights? All right. Who can hit these lights? Boom! All right, guys. Happy Tuesday to you all. Hopefully you guys are excited. You sound like an excited bunch. They're all staring at me with no look on your face. Hey, will you open that window? It's going to get real hot in here. Okay, our first lesson today, smile. Everybody smile. You're in the people attraction business. So put a smile on your face because people don't like grumpy people, right? Okay? That one will make you $1 million. There you go. All right, so hey, a couple of announcements first. Relentless Retreats. Yeah, I wouldn't sit by that door, my man. Go ahead and move that over one or up in here. Otherwise, people are going to keep opening it on you. You're going to get smoked. There you go. All right. So month of September, we got going on a couple of things. Relentless Retreat. Okay. None of you have been to the Relentless Retreat because you're all brand new. But you need to come to the Relentless Retreat because it's the best event that we do every year by a mile. We have a beautiful log cabin rented for you all. We've got great guest speakers coming in from California. Right, and listen, the power of association. You take your top 5 friends, you average their income, that's what you make. You average the quality of their relationships, and that's what your relationships look like. You are who you hang around at the end of the day, right? Okay, so this is a great opportunity for you to get out of normal life and go hang with some people that are winning in big ways in all areas of their life, right? So just the power of being there, number 1 is a big deal. Number 2 is the vision. Do you see, I was sending my wife some pictures I had texted or taken a year ago, right, on Facebook. You know how it shows you what you did a year ago or whatever? I was walking through some houses that were built by the old church that I worked at. They were all like $3 to $5 million homes, and there was this gray Ferrari parked in the garage that I took a picture of, right? It looks just like my Corvette, except for it's got a yellow Ferrari sticker on it, right? And I sent it to her. I'm like, look at what I found as a picture from a year ago. It looks just like the car I have. You got to have a vision for where you're going, right? Because a lack of vision or a fuzziness of vision gives you fuzziness of motivation, okay? Well, I just can't really seem to get myself going. It's because you don't know where you're going or why you're going there, right? So getting away to retreats like this at beautiful places gives you a taste of what your life can and should be like, right? Hey, if all you know is broke, paycheck to paycheck, everybody you know is in the same situation, hey, you're not going to be real motivated to change that, right? Because that's the norm, that's the standard, right? That's the status quo where you are. You got to get around people and places that expand your vision, okay? And that's what that retreat's going to do. So number 1, get there. Number 2, how many of you have your Super Saturday tickets? Raise your hand. Okay, good, about half of you. So let me give you a little plug on this, right? This is 6 months of training, guys, jammed into 2 days, okay? This business is about how good you can get quickly and how good you can get other people quickly, right? So if you were trying to get good quickly, it would behoove you to put yourself in an environment where you can get a lot of information in a very short amount of time, right? Does that make sense? And that's what this event is, right? We've got awesome speakers. Joe Ward is going to be incredible. Jeff Seagrave. How many of you are here for Jeff Seagrave event? 1 of you, 2 of you. Okay, very good. He's going to be here. Chris Koob, one of my mentors in the business, $2 million a year earner, is going to be here talking. And it's going to be incredible. So again, you are who you hang around with, right? What else are you going to be doing on Friday and Saturday, October 16th and 17th, where you're going to have people who have made that sort of money teaching you anything relevant to your life, right? And if the answer is nowhere else but there, then get there, right? So get tickets, make sure that you get them done. And then lastly is the Atlantis. How many of you know your score for the Atlantis? 1, 2. Okay, very good. You all need to look at that because it's probably impossible to win if you don't know how you're scored, what the scores are, who you're competing with. So go on POL, look at it. You all have a great opportunity to win. All right, you might be brand new, but you can win this. A couple of you guys probably are close to getting some stuff going to win that, okay? So make sure you're watching that for the next 90 days. So tonight I'm going to talk about getting off to a fast start. All right, this is 101. This is the basics. We talked about our company credibility last time. Hopefully you guys got a lot out of it if you were in here. So tonight I want to talk to you about getting off to a fast start, because this, in my opinion, is the predominant precursor to whether or not you're going to have a lot of success here. It doesn't mean you can't succeed if you don't get off to a fast start, but let me give you a stat. 80+% of the people who go on to make $100,000 a year plus here, okay, go to district leader in their first month. That's 3 by 3,000, right, in their first month. Doesn't mean you can't do it. 20% of them that are making pretty big money didn't do it. But the odds are 4 out of 5 stacked in your favor if you get that done, right? So I'm going to teach you about how to get off to a fast start, and it's important that A, you do this, and B, you get who to do it? Your team, other people. It's hard to get other people to do something you're not doing, right? Wouldn't you all agree? So the best thing you need to do is you need to follow the process, follow the system, right? And it'll take you 3 to 5 years, but you become financially independent, right? A couple $100,000 a year income coming and recurring. You don't ever have to work for it again. Sound good? Okay, that's what happened to me. So I'm teaching you what I did. Some of you are not going to listen, right? In fact, most of you will not listen, but a few of you in this room will take what I'm telling you and you'll run with it and you'll have the same results. Hey, look, if you did what I did, you would have the same results I have, right? That makes sense. This is a duplicatable process, right? Okay, so 8 to 10 hours a week will buy you financial freedom. Not yo, but you. There's missing the letter U there. Okay, 8 to 10 hours a week is all you need to get this thing off the ground. If you're doing what? Following the system. If you're seeing the people you should be seeing and not seeing people you shouldn't be seeing, right? In market, married, kids, home, job, you need to predominantly be with people that are all 4 of those, okay? The further away you get from people being all 4, the more time you must spend for the same or less results. So you get the choice. You can do this the right way or the hard way. It's your choice, and you choose by who you see, right? Okay, you all have something I call a chicken list. These are the people you really should be seeing, but you're afraid to see. So instead, you're going to go see Toothless Joe from the Walmart that you prospected by running your cart into his cart in the middle of the night, right? Okay, instead of seeing your brother-in-law, right, who's a Ford engineer or whatever, right? Okay, you need to see the people you're afraid of seeing most, because those are the best people. Okay, so don't prejudge who's going to need this, who's not going to need it, okay? And you need to be staying with people that are at your level or above your level. Write this down. Don't recruit down. Okay, so John Maxwell talks about this thing called the law of the lid. He says in leadership, on a scale of 1 to 10, whatever number you are, it will be largely impossible for you to recruit, train, and retain people that are higher than you, right? Okay, so what happens is people tend to go down, right? They say, oh, I'm a 5, so I'm going to go after 2s because I know I can get the 2s, right? But in this business, that's not true. You need to go after 5s if you're a 5, and 6s and 7s, and be actively working to bring yourself up to that level. You want to recruit up, or at least sideways, not down. Doesn't mean you shouldn't recruit them, but I'm talking about spending your time and following the system, right? You're in a financial services business. Being with people who don't have bank accounts, not a wise idea. Being with people who don't make at least 30 grand a year, not a wise idea. You just have to understand the business that you're in, right? Okay, so everybody good with that? So hopefully you all have seen this in your orientation packet. I'm a big believer, and there's 3 things you need to be working on, okay? If you care about anything else than these 3 things, till you're making pretty big money here, you have missed it. You are off track, okay? In fact, I was listening to an audiobook today. Let me give you this quote. I thought it was really incredible. It's called 6 Months to 6 Figures, right? I would recommend you get it. It's a great book, okay? But he says this. Let's see. Wanting to learn more when mastery of the current information hasn't occurred is a huge reason people stay broke and stressed. Wanting to learn more before mastery of the basics has occurred is one of the #1 reasons why people stay broke and stressed, right? He says this: the most dangerous words to a budding entrepreneur are the words, I already know. I already know, okay? There's gonna be a big something inside of some of you guys, especially those of you who are T-type personalities, right? Technical types. You want to know everything. No, this isn't about knowing everything. This is about mastering a few skills that give you the majority of your outcome, right? You all have heard of the Pareto principle, the 80-20 rule. What that states is 80% of your results come from 20% of your efforts. That's this. You need to work on flipping that and put 80% of your effort into the things that give you the most result, and that's how you have exponential results. Does everybody understand that? Okay, so learn these things and begin to understand them at a different level, right? So think about your business like a three-legged stool. If you have a two-legged stool, what's going to happen? Okay, right. If you have a one-legged stool, it's even worse. There's three things you need to be doing simultaneously in the beginning of this business to be able to get off to a fast start. If you do these three things, you're going to succeed, you're going to get results, you're going to make money, you're going to feel like this is simple, you're going to have fun. It's going to be easy, okay? If you cherry pick, right, you garage sale this, right? I always tell people this business is not a garage sale, it's a business. You don't go through and pick through what you like, you go and you do the process, right, okay? So there's three legs, they're all equally important. The first is field training, right, and getting off to a fast start. Second is meeting and conference calls. Third is getting licensed, okay? So the keys to success are a couple. Learn from those who have results. Hey, listen, y'all. One of the number one ways you screw this up here is listening to people that ain't doing jack but want to tell you about how to do it, okay? So here's what you do. If anybody ever offers you advice in this office or anywhere in Primerica, you walk them to the leader sheets and say, please show me where you are on this so I can determine whether or not to take your advice. If they're not in 1, 2, or 3, you shake their hand, you say, thank you so much for wanting to give me advice, but until you start taking some of your own, I'm not allowed to listen to you, okay? And that's what you say. You listen to people with rings on or at the top of the leader sheets. The only 2 people in this office have anything to tell you, right? Y'all agree? Okay, very good. So learn from those who have results. Follow the system and become what? Independent quickly. That's our goal here, you guys. We want to get you independent quickly so you can go out in the field, get results, and then teach that to other people. That's your key to financial freedom, is the leverage of other people working in your business, okay? All right, let's see here. Field training, okay? Duplication and following the system is everything. You've got to get really good at this business, and you get really good by going on a bunch of field training appointments with somebody who is really good. Okay, so I want to make sure you guys understand a couple of things here. Your ability to make big money and have freedom here is dependent on 2 things. Okay, what are those 2 things? Number 1 is developing the ability to get what? Results. Not to try, right? Get results. Get people to say yes. Here's the good news. This business is 100% skill. It has nothing to do with personality, doesn't have to do with where you came from, who your mentor is, none of that. It's 100% skill. If you learn the skills, you get the results, end of story. You don't learn the skills, you won't get the results, end of story. So it's based on 2 things, developing the ability to get results and teaching that to massive amounts of people, right? Teaching people how to get results. So I'm going to spend some time here helping you understand why this works in this way. Okay, so some of you hopefully have seen this. How many of you have not seen the compensation schedule or how it works or why it works? Raise your hand. Okay, very good. So let me help you to understand this. In Primerica, there are essentially 7 contracts, starting from something called rep, which is 25%, and going all the way to a regional vice president, which is 110% plus bonuses. What is this a percentage of? This is a percentage of a first year's premium on a life insurance policy. Why life insurance? Life insurance is the foundation of all financial planning. If you're alive to make money tomorrow, you have some control over what you do with that money. Yes or yes? Do I pay it to debt? Do I put it in an investment? Do I work a second job to make more money? Do I build my Primerica business? What do I do? If you're not alive to make money anymore, and you had people depending on that, it's game over. The only thing they have to depend on for the rest of their financial lives is what? Your life insurance. It's also the only thing we may not be able to go back and do. Right? If we go back to start your IRA 2 months from now and you're living, you can start your IRA. If we go back to start your life insurance 2 months from now and you're dead, we cannot start your life insurance. That boat has sailed. Okay, so that's a foundation of all financial planning. It's so important. It's the most basic and important of any financial product. Okay, so you can write this stuff down if you want. The average client pays about $1,000 a year for life insurance. Some pay more, some pay less. That's the average through our organization. So if you're the low guy on the totem pole and you make 25%, of $1,000, what was your commission? $250. Not bad for an hour worth of work. Right? So if you're the low guy in the totem pole and you're seeing people who are what? In market, who need what we do, okay, you're going to make really good money for the amount of time that you spend here. Everybody understand that? To jump levels, it's 100% based on what? Results. Right? There's no favorites here. You can't come suck up to me and get a free promotion. You earned it, you earned it. You didn't, you didn't. Any questions? Don't ask. Oh, I've been trying really hard and don't ask. Right? If you were trying as hard as you said, you would have the results. Right? Okay? So let me explain to you our process. And this is something that we do that's unique in the company, right? Okay, and this is part of the reason why we're the #1 organization in the Midwest, soon to be the #1 organization in the entire country. Is we have a fast start program where in your first 30 days, how long do you have?
30 days.
From the day you join. In the first 30 days, you have the ability to get 2 promotions. Okay? So let me explain to you how this works. The first one happens with 1 recruit and 1 sale. So you bring in 1 recruit, you get 1 insurance sale in your first 30 days, and you go to class. You also have to attend the pre-licensing class. You automatically start at what contract level? 35, right? Senior rep, 35%. Okay, so your average commission went from what? 250 to 350, an extra $100 a deal. That's not bad, right? If you're going to do the work anyways, you should get as much money as possible for that same work. Okay. The real promotion comes at district leader, which is a 50% contract. So it's doubling the base contract, right? How do you get that? 3 recruits and 3 sales in your first 30 days. Okay? So on average, your average commission is now worth what? $500. Double what you were making before. Now, I want you to raise your hands if you're not getting any of this, because this is the secret sauce. This is where you're going to make it or break it on this part of things, okay? So I need you to understand this. It's unlikely you will be actively licensed and appointed in your first 30 days. Why? You're probably going to take a week to get to the next scheduled class, maybe 2 weeks. You're going to study for a few days. You're going to pass your exam. You're going to turn stuff in, and then the state of Michigan is going to take a week or 2 weeks to get you appointed. So if you are not actively licensed in those first 30 days, are you going to make money directly off those first 3 sales? No. Shake your head like this. No. Why not? You're not licensed. It's illegal. Who's going to make money off those first 3 sales? Your upline trainer. Okay? But we understand you want to make money. So we pay you in 3 ways. Way 1 is we double your pay contract from 25 to 50. So after you're licensed, you're making twice as much money on every sale infinitely forward. So very quickly, the perceived loss you had by not making money on the first 3 is very quickly made up by making double on everything into the future. Does anybody not understand that?
I just have a question. If I do 3 recruits and 3 sales before I get my license, then I'm not going to get that money?
Correct. Okay.
But what if I do those 3 sales and 3 recruits and then get my like next weekend is when not this upcoming one, but next weekend is when I have those pre-licensing
classes. Right, so you're 2 weeks minimum away from being licensed, even if you took the class the next day. So your class is next week, and then you're going to study for a few days, and then you're going to test, and if you pass, which hopefully you will.
Then I want to get the 3 recruits.
Nope, you want to do it immediately.
You can still get the bonus.
Yeah, well, let me explain to you. So you're getting here. That's a good question. So watch this. You're not going to get paid directly on the first 3 sales, but you are going to get paid indirectly in 3 ways. Way 1 is once you are licensed, you're making twice as much as you would have been if you waited till you got licensed. Okay, that's way 1. Way 2 is you get a $300 bonus, which is not much, but it's a little bit for your time. The third way, and the way you should all be concerned about, and the way that is going to be magical for you in this business, is in addition to 3 sales, what else did we get you? 3 whats? 3 recruits. And what did those 3 recruits have to do in their first 30 days to get to district leader? Same thing. Now, your 3 recruits are not going to be licensed in their first 30 days either. So 3 recruits bring in 3 sales each is how many sales? 9 sales. Now your 3 aren't licensed, but you are. So who's going to make the money on those 9 sales?
You are.
You're going to make the money on the 9 sales, and you're going to make it at what contract level? 50 instead of
45.
So you get a choice. Do it your way. Wait till you get a license. Do nothing, right? Get your license, pop out at 25%, you make money on all your sales. Except nobody's bringing you any sales, so it's all you, and you're making half as much until you get that done, which may take you a month, 2 months, because it's no longer just dependent on what you do, it's dependent on what you do in developing some licensed people, okay? So there's a right way and a wrong way. The right way is you get people quickly who start bringing you people in sales, or you do it all on your own, okay? Does anybody have questions on that? There's no stupid questions in here. I want you to understand, so raise your hand if you don't understand that. Okay, so you all understand that it's good to follow this process, because when you get 3 by 3, you can get your 3 recruits to go do the same thing. You're licensed, making money on those 9 transactions or more. Some of them will do 4 and 5 and 6 transactions in their first 30 days, right? And you're making all the money on that at a higher contract versus a lower contract. Now what's in it for your 3 recruits? They can do the same thing. So they each go get 3 and 3, right? Okay, and if you multiply that out 2 and 3 times, you've got a team doing 30 or 40 sales a month in a few months, right? You all understand that? Okay, so I want you to understand why that's good. Does anybody not understand why that's good? So let me just have a visual here to help bring this home. Okay, so I need 2 volunteers. Josh and Nathan are going to be my volunteers because they're sitting the closest to me. So both you guys stand up over here, come over here. Okay, everybody say hi to Josh and Nathan.
Hi.
Okay, so Jeannie, you're going to be the coachable one. Nathan, you're going to be the guy who just wants to do his own thing. So Nathan says, oh, this is all good, but I want the money. I'm not giving up anything. I'm going to wait till I get my license. I say, okay, Nathan, good luck to you. Go to class, get your license, and call me when you're done with all that. And Josh listens to what I say. So Josh goes and gets how many people? 3. So I need 3 of you to stand up. Let's do the front 3. So these are Josh's recruits. Now Nathan's still studying. Right? He's taking his sweet old time. Now, Josh was coachable. He went and did this his first week in the business. He didn't wait 30 days. He went and got him. Okay? So now, one of Josh's recruits, Natalie, she quits. Sorry, Natalie. So go ahead and sit back down. Okay? But 2 of them go 3 by 3. So I need 6 more of you to stand up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Perfect. Yeah, go ahead and stand back up now, Natalie. You got recruited in the second round.
Okay.
Okay. Now, look at all the people standing. Now, these people are all trying to bring in what? 3 sales. Let me ask you a question. Who's going to make more sales? This group of people or that guy? Right there.
Probably this guy.
Right? Okay. Why? Because he has more. If we did this a second time, this entire room would be standing. Versus him, he can't win. Maybe he could win once, but he couldn't win repeatedly. And on top of that, once you get that momentum rolling, some people are not going to stay. Some people are not going to put in the effort. But there's always going to be somebody getting somebody to go through that process. Sit down. Do you understand why it's important to do this? If you don't do this, you will have a hard time getting other people to do it. Doesn't mean you can't. You're just going to go slowly. And most of your money is going to be based on your effort versus very quickly getting the multiples to work for you. Okay? Y'all understand that? So let's go ahead and look at some of these other promotions. So to get to division, which is a 60% contract, which means on an average sale, your commission would be what? $600, 60% of 1,000. What do you need to do? 5 recruits, 5,000 in sales in 1 month on your team. So theoretically, if you went district leader month 1, and then you got 2 people under you to go district leader month 2, you qualified, right? You had 2 guys get 3 by 3, all you needed was 5 by 5. You didn't even have to go get anybody, and it automatically happened, okay? So how does an override work? If you, let's say you're a division leader, you're at 60%, you make a $1,000 sale, you're getting how much money? $600. So Josh is a division, Patricia's a district now. She went and got her 3x3. She's licensed, she knows what she's doing now. So Patricia goes out, she's underneath Josh, and makes a $1,000 sale. What does Patricia get as a district? $500. What did Josh get overriding her sale? $100. What did Josh have to do for that sale? Nothing. It's not really true. He found her, he trained her, so he put a little bit of effort in up front, but infinitely into the future, every transaction Patricia or anybody Patricia ever brings in does, Josh is going to make money from. Y'all understand that? Okay, any questions on this? The higher up you go, not only do you make a larger percentage on your own sales, but you generally have a wider margin on the people you're bringing in. For example, let's say Josh was at 80% and he did a $1,000 sale, what's he making? Right? Patricia's a district leader under Josh. She does 1,000, she's making 500, he's making, in this case, 300. Right? She makes 10 sales this month, what's he getting? 3 grand. For doing what? Nothing. That's magic. Okay? You got to understand this. So now watch what happens. Right? You get the senior regional leader, that's 10 recruits, 10,000 in sales in a month. What do you need to do to get to RVP? Do that for 2 months and have your licenses, be ready to go full time. So as you start, let's say you get somebody to go senior regional leader underneath you, that should automatically push you to what? RVP. You understand? Okay, so this is a people pushing up people business. Everything your people do underneath you counts for you. So you should get some people, right? Is anybody confused about getting people, why that's good, why overrides are good? Anybody not understand that?
I understand that, but I have a different question.
Go ahead.
Similar question. So, let's say you get let's say I get 3x3.
Yep.
And then, the people on, like I've got some people, and they've gotten 2x2. Does
Okay.
that move me up?
Well,
Or do
in
I
that
add
case,
on-
you've
does it
only
all have
done
to be-
4x4. If you had, so you did 3x3 month 1.
Right.
Month 2, you had 2 people do 2x2. So you're short of that next promotion.
So if I did 1x1 and they did 2x2, people did 2, so then that would
promote
move
you
me
up.
up?
Yep.
Oh, so it doesn't all have to be
No.
5x5
Uh-uh.
from me?
No, it's you and everybody under you. Get people, right? That's the
And
moral
then
of
the
the
second
story.
question I have is, if somebody also, like you recruit somebody and they move up to the same level as you,
That would be hard to do. Here's why. Let's use that example. Let's say somebody under you did 5x5.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you also did 5x5 because of them. So the only way that they would, what's called sideline you, is if you do nothing and you have nobody else doing anything. If you're one-legged, you can be passed, which is why you should recruit more than one person. You should recruit as many people as you can, right? Okay, and again, you know this is coming. If you've got somebody underneath you doing a really great job, that's good. You're making some money. You're enjoying the gravy train. And we're going to say, Patricia, wake up, right? This guy's about to pass you. Go do something, right? And if you choose to do nothing and choose to get no other people, then that person has a right to be at the same level you have. And what happens to your override? Goes away temporarily. You can recapture them, right? But, I mean, you got to be a sloth to do nothing, right? I mean, if you're overriding somebody that quickly into the business and you just don't do anything, right, then who deserves the money anyways? They do. They're the one doing all the work, right? Let's give them the money. Why pay you? You're doing nothing. You've provided no value other than that person. Your value and his value is the same. So we're not going to pay you twice for it, right? We're going to pay you once. Now, if you have another person, you're valuable to us. You're the reason this business is transacting. You understand that? So you don't have to be worried about that. The moral of the story is recruit lots of people. Okay? Any questions?
Can you potentially jump a level?
Yep. You can go multiple levels in 1 month. Yep. So you don't have to go one by one. You can just,
You can explode.
yeah, you can pop through it. Right? And that's what a lot of the best people do, right? Greg Lambrecht went to senior regional leader his first month license. Josh Christian went to regional leader his first month license. Most of the big guys, they do more than 3x3 in their first 30 days, right? Now, a lot of you be concerned, well, I don't want to give up any more commission on it. if I do 5 sales, I'm not going to make money on 5 instead of only 3. What does it matter? The more you do, the more people you have doing, right? Do you understand that? Your goal should be to do as much as you possibly can, so you can look at your new people in the eye and say they should do what? As much as they possibly can. If you're kind of like, you know, nickel and dime, you're upline about placing the business and I'm going to hold this until then, that's exactly what's going to happen to you. If you're totally coachable and you say, you know what, I'm going to build this process, I understand the more people I have, the more it's going to come in, I'm going to go through and trust the system, that's what you're going to get. You're going to get a lot of people that want to do the same thing, right? And you're going to win. You're all going to win, right? You're going to build big teams, right? One of the biggest mistakes I watch people do after they get to district, especially if they do it fast, like I was saying, they pump the brakes and wait for that license. Bad idea. Just keep building, right? So what if you miss out on a few dinky commissions on a few sales? Once you're licensed, you have a machine running that's bringing you sales. You're not going to be worried about the $500 you didn't get. When you're getting $500 a week in overrides, which is what happens to the people that do it the right way. Anybody have any questions on this? So your goal needs to be 3 by 3 minimum, preferably 10 by 10, right? Go big and put a bunch of people in and start that process with them quickly. Anybody have questions on that? Going once, going twice. All right, let's go ahead and move on here, hopefully. Okay, so we all already went through this. 3 recruits who get 3 recruits is 9 recruits, and 3 sales is 9 sales. You get paid on the 9, right? We already went through that. So for those of you who aren't quite sold yet, let me show you the math, okay, of why this works. Okay, so the numbers here are a little off, so I'm going to help you. But let's say you don't want to do the fast start. You're Nathan. You just wait till you get licensed. You don't do any fast start. Okay, you have no team. You've done no training. You have how many referrals? None. But you get licensed, so your commission level is at what? 25%. So let's say you do 10,000 in sales over the next couple of months. Your commission is what? 2,500. Maybe less. We might split you on it. Right? If Nathan's not listening to me, why am I going to take my time to train Nathan? If I got Matt who's listening and Nathan who's not listening, who gets my time? Matt. So who does Nathan have to go out with? Nathan goes out with Josh, who is not Nathan's upline. So Josh doesn't get nothing if Nathan closes a sale. Right? So guess what Josh is going to do with him? He's going to go close the sale for Nathan because Nathan doesn't know what he's doing because he has done no training. But he's going to split them. He said, great, you get half, I get half. So if he gets split, now his commission goes down to what? $1,250. He does it the right way, right? Does a bunch of appointments, goes 3 by 3. His team size is what? 3 to 6 people, maybe more, right? Is he trained? Yes, he's seen this now 10 or 20 times. He knows what he's doing enough to do it on his own, right? How many referrals does he have? At least 10. Probably more, okay? And look, if you're at 50%, this should have been 7,000, right? So he gave his first 3 sales up at 1,000 apiece, right? 50% times 7,000 is how much money? $3,500 plus the bonus that he didn't get if he didn't, right? Wait, so how much money did he get? $3,800. Same amount of sales, do it the right way, it's worth what? About 40% more money on the first 10 sales. And then after that, it gets even larger how much more money it's worth. Okay, so for those of you who wanted to see math, this is the math. Everybody wins in a fast start. The recruit wins because once they're licensed, they're going to make way more money. The trainer wins because the trainer's going to make some money training the new person, right? Everybody's happy. If you do it the wrong way, nobody's happy. Right? Nathan's pissed because he's only getting 12.5% on his sales. I'm pissed because I had a good guy, but he didn't want to listen to me. Josh is training somebody that's not even his for half the amount of money he could be training somebody on his own. Nobody wins in that situation. So make a win-win instead of a lose-lose. You all good with that? You all understand? Any other questions on that? Okay, good. Let's move on here. Okay. Licensing. How many of you have been to licensing class? Raise your hand. How many of you have passed your exam? Raise your hand. Okay, put your hands down. How many of you have not been to class or not taken your test yet? Raise your hand. Okay, so just a couple of you. Okay, good. You need to take that now, right? Or have it scheduled at least. Okay, here's the deal. You go to the 2-day class and you need to take the test within 3 days of completing it. They're going to ask you to schedule the test while you're there. You should do that. Okay, you'll front $40 out of your pocket to take the test. When you pass, they'll pay you the $40 back. It's free. Okay, if you don't pass, we'll pay for you to take it again. Right? This is about passing quickly, not passing 3 months from now with a 99. Okay, I'd rather you fail it 3 times this week and pass on the 4th time a week from today than pass it with a 99 90 days from now, right? It has nothing to do with how good you do on it. You just have to pass it. Does anybody have any questions on licensing? Very basic, right? When you recruit somebody, you always schedule the class, follow up with them, get them to take their test very quickly afterwards.
When you take your test and you pass it, how do you get your $40 back?
Okay, so that's a good question. So when you pass the test, you turn in, so Dominic just passed and you brought in your pass notice and something called an NAIC form. You turn it into Gene. The state will take a few days, maybe a week and a half to appoint you.
So when I'm appointed.
When the state appoints you, all of a sudden on Primerica Online, you're going to show up as active. The day you show up as active, they cut you a check for $40. So your first check ever will always be the $40 you get back from the test.
Now my question is, if you fail it, can you take it again?
You can take it every 24 hours.
Every 24 hours.
Yep. And if you take it enough times, eventually you'll start memorizing the questions. Sooner or later you can pass. Right?
If you do the POL and you keep doing that, you'll pass it.
Yep.
Just listen to the audio.
Yep, listen to the audio. Okay, here's where most of you are going to screw this deal up, okay? So you need to pay attention in a big way. Meetings and calls. Now you're all at the meeting today, but some of you won't be here on Friday. That's just the fact. Okay, I think you're insane for doing that, okay? Because this is your ticket to freedom. So write this down. Meetings make money. Okay? Meetings make money. If your people don't know what they're doing, how much are they going to do?
Nothing.
Nothing. So what are you going to make?
Nothing.
Okay? Meetings build teams. You just saw team building is important to the health of your business. Okay? Meetings create competence, and meetings allow for freedom. Hey, listen, y'all. With total commitment comes total freedom. I'm going to relate this to marriage for a second. How many of you are unmarried? Raise your hand. Okay, very good. Keep your hand raised if you're unmarried. Most of you would probably, if I asked you, would admit to some level of thought and effort into how you present yourself, how you act around the opposite sex. Go ahead and put your hands down. You probably spend money and time trying to meet people at this bar or that thing or this dating service. Yes or yes? I mean, you are putting some level of effort, most of you, into that venture. A married person does not, they don't do that. Why? They're married. They've made a commitment to person X, and now they're no longer concerned with person Y and Z. And right? Do you understand that? So a lot of people are afraid of that total commitment, but that total commitment brought total freedom. They're not concerned about the things that a lot of you are very concerned about all the time, right? I sometimes think about that. Could you imagine how much time and effort, things I'd have to be thinking about if I was constantly worried about what this girl thought or that girl thought? I'm trying to impress them. I hope she likes me back. You start the process and then they don't, and well, right? I mean, right? That commitment brought freedom from all the other stuff. Commitment to meetings and calls bring freedom in your life, right? Because you know your path. You know where you're going. You don't have to wonder about it anymore. You don't have to keep looking for opportunities. You're committed to the process, and that process in turn frees you from all the what if and what's going to happen and all these sort of things, right? So you all know the business schedule, right? Tuesdays, right? Tuesdays we do 7 o'clock to 8 o'clock, but winners get here at what time? 6:30. Why? Because when you bring new people, publicly traded, 75 million shares on the New York Stock Exchange, none of that means anything to a new person. 100 people here when they get here means a lot to them, right? People are herd animals. You need to understand that. They feel comfort in the pack. So there needs to be some people here when they get here. right? Okay, so you should take it upon yourself to be one of those people and to help create that culture, so when you have people, people are here to meet your people. You understand that? Okay, Friday 6:30, Sunday night conference call at 8:30. This is 3 hours a week, you all. In an average week, and in any week actually, not just an average week, there are 168 hours. This is 3. Relative to the amount of time you have in your week, is that a large amount of time or a small amount of time? That's a very small amount of time. It's a very small amount of time that gives you a very large result. Okay, remember 20% of your time gives you 80% of the result. This is part of that 20%. But a lot of people don't do it. They fill it with 80% crap that doesn't give them any results. Okay, so let me explain a couple of things to you here on this. Okay, never miss a meeting. I've never seen a miss or win. Why? You just can't build a team. It's largely impossible. You're going to build a castle made of sand, right? If you teach your people it's okay to miss, what are they going to do? And they're going to teach their people, right? Write this down. Your people will do 50% of what you do correctly, and they will do 20 times over what you do wrong. You miss one meeting, they think they can miss 20. That's how it works, right? So if you're my person, right, or if you want to win, I'm like, this is a big deal to me, right? I just can't put time into people that are missing meetings. Why? If you can't figure out how to get your crap together for a couple of hours, how are you going to grow a business? Right? I mean, let's just be honest. How are you going to grow a business? I can't trust you. I can't trust you to build your own business. Why am I going to trust you with my business and my time? Right? Do you get that? Okay? So you got to stay consistent. I've never seen a winner miss a meeting. Right? Now, what are the exceptions to that? You died. Okay? An immediate family member is like in the hospital. Okay? Immediate family member, not your third cousin. Okay? Right? Or you're out of the state. Right? People go on vacation and stuff sometimes. That's okay if you're out of the state. Right? So I need you to understand the difference between can't and chose not to. Right? Do you understand the difference between can't and chose not to? Can't is I'm physically not capable of being there. Can't is I was physically capable of being there, but I made an alternate decision. Okay? So listen, y'all, we're all where we are in our lives because of the decisions we make. Like it or not, that's the truth. Okay? So find some people that are where you want to be financially and make similar decisions. I made a decision never to miss a meeting. If I'm in the state of Michigan, I'm at a meeting. Why? Because that's just how I was taught. Winners don't miss meetings. So I can talk to my people, say, Patricia, I saw you missed that yesterday. You told me you wanted to win here. Now, were you confused? Because winners come to meetings and you weren't there. So I didn't know, maybe you were confused about whether or not you wanted to win. Does that seem a little harsh? If yes, hey, suck it up, Buttercup, right? Okay, look. Doing what you're doing now is getting you what you have right now. There's a reason you're sitting in this room, right? And that's because you have some hope that this business will allow you the opportunity to really change your life for the better financially and probably in some other ways, right? Is that why we're here? Okay, if that's why we're here, then let's do that, right? Don't let ourselves short circuit and shortcut the process to give us more of what we already have, right? You getting that? You got to become a meeting promoter. If you're not at the meeting, how on earth are you going to promote to your people to get to the meeting? Hey man, you're going to be at the meeting tonight. I can't wait to see you. Hey, you're going to be there, right? No, I'm not coming. I got the Tigers game, but I'll be at the next one. That just doesn't work, you all. So write this down. We have a 1-to-1 ratio in our business. This is why I'm a meeting fanatic, okay? Because I'm a business person. How many of you know the 1-to-1 ratio? None. Okay, you do. Okay, for every person you have on your team at a meeting, that's how many override sales your team will make this month. So if you have 5 people coming to the meeting, how many sales should you expect your team to make? If you have 50 people coming to the meeting, how many sales should you expect your team to make? 50. How many of you have more than 3 people here at the meeting tonight? 1. So Steve, raise your hand. So you got 1 or 3. How many do you have here?
Two. Well, two with myself.
Oh, so you don't have 3. So
I'm
none.
sorry, I'm sorry.
How many do you have? So you have 2 people here. In this meeting or in the whole meeting?
In this meeting.
What about the whole meeting?
There's no other ones.
Oh, so just 2 here.
Just 2 here.
Okay.
They're back there. Everyone else decided that they couldn't make it
Sure.
tonight.
So guess what? You know what? He's got to find some new people. Hopefully those other people decide to clean up their act and win. But they just told me everything I need to know about them. Right? You understand that? Okay? You find people that are going somewhere in their life, they don't have any tolerance for jokers and looky-loos and people who want to try the deal. They want people that are willing to commit. It's not like it's your firstborn kid, man. It's 3 hours, right? Of 168. I can think you spend 3 hours brushing your teeth most likely in a week, right? Okay, so you should keep brushing your teeth, but find that time somewhere else. Okay, so understand, there's 100 people coming to this meeting. How many sales are going to come out of this office?
100.
At least. Maybe more, but at least that. So until you got some people, all the sales are going to be coming from you. And that's okay. And for a period of time, right, you make good money for the amount of time, right? You're making $500, you're out there for an hour and a half. That's good money for the amount of time, but there's no freedom in it. You made a sale, you got money. You don't make a sale, you don't get money. You understand? So very quickly, you need to shift your focus from, am I going to be at the meeting, to what? How many people can I have at the meeting? And you can't do that if you're always debating whether or not you're going to come. Right? You understand that? You're just in 2 different universes. I'm wondering whether or not I want to win for my own self and family versus, all right, I made the decision to win, and now I know I've got to get people to the meeting to run my numbers out. Okay, it doesn't mean you can't make good money without people. You make $100,000, $150,000 a year here without a lot of people. Okay, right? But you're never free. You're always trading time for dollars. Just a more efficient time for dollar trade than your job. Okay? Any questions on the 1-to-1 ratio? Okay. Meetings build leverage. Okay? So the employee mindset versus the business owner mindset. An employee looks at those 3 hours and they think, I don't get paid for that time. It's rush hour. I'm really busy. This thing came up tonight, right? And they look at it in a very linear way, both cause and effect. They look at it in a linear way because that's all they know. They're employees. They think I trade time for dollars. Oh, I don't come to this, no big deal, right? They don't understand leverage. You've just levered out the wrong thing to everybody that's downline of you. So you're now replicating the wrong behaviors and the wrong mindsets, right? Okay. So again, the employee looks at things and says, hey, this doesn't make sense. And you know what? If you were working for me, I'd agree with you. If I wasn't going to pay you to sit here and you don't own it and you can't really get anywhere with it, I'd agree with your mindset. Go do what you want, right? But you don't work for me. Who do you work for here?
Yourself.
You and your business. So if it's your business, you should try to build that business as quickly and as effectively as you can, right? Do you understand that? So a business owner looks at this in this mindset. Let's say we have 10 people on your team. If you follow the system, you will have 10 people on your team, okay? And we want to train them for 3 hours each this week. How many hours will we spend training your people? 30. 10 people for 3 hours each, 30 hours. We spend almost a full-time work week training people. Or I get all their butts to where? The meetings, and I train them all at the same time. And so how long does it take me to train 10 people?
3 hours.
How long does it take me to train 120 people?
3 hours.
How long does it take me to train 1,000 people?
3 hours.
Do you understand this? Meetings are freedom. You can teach massive amounts of people in small amount of times, so the other time you have what? Free. Do you understand this? Right? Write this down. Is what you're doing right now getting you out of doing what you're doing right now?
Repeat that, please.
Is what you're doing right now getting you out of doing what you're doing right now? By coming to meetings, learning how to promote that, is that eventually going to get you out of having to come to meetings? Yup. When you've got 1,000 people, it don't matter if you come to the meeting or not anymore. Right? I'm being in Florida for 3 months this winter. I will be at no meetings. And they're still gonna keep paying me, and my team's gonna keep growing, and new people are gonna keep getting licensed, learning how to make money, going out in the field, and they're gonna keep sending me checks. Why? Because I built the system and I followed it, and I taught other people to follow it. Was it inconvenient from time to time? Yes. Were there other things I wanted to do from time to time besides go to the meeting? Yes. Were there really good things I could be doing from time to time? Like going to see my kids' recital on Friday night? Yes. But the reason I can spend all the time in the world with my kids is because I have that, and they understand, right? I've explained to them. In life, we make specific, high-value commitments so that we can have the time and resources to spend all the time in the world with the people we care about most. Or we are the average and ordinary. We refuse to make those commitments, and then we tie ourselves for 40, 50, and 60 hours a week to the grind. And we can't spend the time and resources we'd like to with the people we care about. Right? Your boss says you got to work tomorrow, and you were planning on taking your spouse to lunch. What are you going to do? Say no? Right? You're not that uppity of an employee, right? Why? Because you don't got a backup plan. You don't got plan B. You don't have residual income coming in. Right? Do you understand what I'm saying there? Right? You got to ask for permission to do the things you want in your life instead of taking that into your hand, creating a leverage system, and then buying freedom with it. You all get that? You get what I'm picking up when I'm laying down there? Okay. Right? So are you an owner or a loaner? Okay. If you have a job, you're a loaner. You're renting yourself. Yeah. You're renting yourself. You don't own you. Your corporation owns you. They tell you where to be, when to be there, how long you get for lunch, how many bathroom breaks you can take every day. They tell you where you live, what car you drive, where your kids go to school, how many vacations you take, and where you take them. They tell you all of that. And how do they tell that to you? By your paycheck. Right? You're a loaner. I want to be an owner. I want to own my time, own my life, own my choices. How do we do that, guys? By creating a leveraged system. You simply cannot do this by missing meetings. Can't do it. You know what? Some of you got some reasonable stuff. Why not to be here on Friday? If you want to win, find another time to do it. You have 165 other hours that you can figure it out. Right? Listen, my family knows they don't schedule birthday parties on Friday night. Or I'm not going to be there till 8:30. This is one choice, right? Don't schedule it there if you want me to be there, or be okay with me being late. Either way, I'm not coming at 7 o'clock. Why? You don't control my life. I control my life. And this allows me extreme freedom. And I'm not going to mess with that. I'm not going to trade little things that are not going to make a difference long range for the things that have, right? Every day can be my family members' birthdays. Literally, any day I want, I can go and take my mom out to lunch, take her out on the town, go see a show with her. Why? Because I control my life, right? Every day can be a holiday once you pay the price and you build something, right? But most people are too short-sighted, right? The world-class plan for 3 generations, the middle-class plan for Saturday night. What are you thinking about, and how are you making decisions? Write this down. Is this choice getting me closer to or further from my stated goals and dreams? Every choice you need to make in your life, if you filter it through that question, you're going to make right choice after right choice after right choice. Folks, we live in a cause and effect world. If you walk off the top of this building, what's going to happen? You fall. Are you sure?
Yep.
You're positive. Why?
Gravity.
Okay, because if you walk off the side of a building, that's what's going to happen. If you make the right choices consistently, what's going to happen? Right things. Why? Because it's cause and effect. There's no mystery to succeeding. Success leaves clues. So does failure. Choosing the easy way, what I want now versus what I want most, allowing other people to dictate our schedules and different things like that, right, is a sure way to not get anywhere in your life. Be just like them, okay? Okay, I already went through this. 80% of the people earn 100,000 plus, do their 3x3 in their first 30 days. Okay, so what's the moral of the story? The only thing you all need to be thinking about for your first 6 months in this business are 3 things, right? Get out in the field, get at least your 3x3, but preferably more than that, and teach other people to do what? The same thing. Come to what meetings? All of them, even the ones you don't feel like coming to, even the ones where you got a good excuse, even the ones where you're stuck in traffic and you just want to turn around. Okay, and then you need to get your license.
What were those things again? Sorry.
So, yep, second is come to the meeting, third is get your license. The only 3 things you need to be thinking about. Anything else, until you have mastery of it, is worthless to you. It's pointless. You want to learn about quality of business, you want to learn about securities, you want to learn about this thing or that thing, POL, worthless, 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 and worthless. It's all worthless to you, right? Becoming a master at the right things will make you I have made millions of dollars doing this by doing exactly what I'm teaching you here. Exactly what I'm teaching you here. I took 4 months off last year on vacation. 4 months! 1/3 of the year I was on vacation. My income went up $200,000 a year. Why? Because I have built a system that you can partake in and lever the same results out of, but unfortunately, again, most of you won't. You'll forget what I told you here, right? Walking out of this meeting. So listen, commit to the process, and the process will work for you. How long? Long enough to win. How long? Long enough to win. So you say, well, I'll give it 6 months. You might as well quit now. Success doesn't care how long you want to give it. It cares you're willing to make the commitment, you're willing to pay the price. In the United States, you get paid for the value you bring to people and nothing else. Why need this much to live? Nobody cares about what you need. The economy is not moved by what you need. They're moved by the what? The value you bring to people. The more people you help here, the more money you get, right? The more valuable you are to our company, right? You understand? So learn to become valuable. Learn to be somebody that can duplicate. The reason they pay me my sort of money is not because I'm out there making sales all day. The reason they pay me my sort of money is I can get 150 of you up in here and teach you how to do it. Do you understand? I'm responsible at some level for all that business being generated, right? So if you want to get paid that sort of money, you want to have that sort of freedom, that's what you need to make. And this is how you do it. So simple. Most people just won't do it. So I'm going to leave you with this, and we'll answer any questions in just a second. So he says this in the book, 6 months to six figures, right? The most dangerous words, I already know that. The right words are, am I doing that? The next time you think, well, I already know that. Oh, I don't need to sit in that class again. I already know that. I don't need to come to the meeting tonight. I already know that. No, the right question is what? Am I doing that? And have I mastered that? And the third question is, do I have proof that I have mastered it? Right? Proof is in this business, bank account. If your bank account is getting filled up with checks by Primerica, you are mastering the process. If your bank account is not filled up with checks from Primerica, you have not mastered the process. Any questions? Pretty basic, right? Okay, I'm giving you guys what it takes to succeed here. How many of you want to succeed? Right, okay? The truth be told, most of you, if you could trade lives with me economically, you would, right? But the good news is you don't have to. You can build your own, right? You can build your own. It's totally up to you and your ability to follow through on a process. So hey, tonight, I would encourage you to go home and ask yourself a couple of questions. How bad do I want to win? How much am I ready to change, right? And am I willing to do what it takes for as long as it takes to have those results? And when you can say yes to all 3 of those things, your success here is guaranteed. It's just a matter of time. It's just a matter of time before you allow the compounding good efforts to work for you. All right, any questions? Going once. Going twice. All right, y'all, we'll see you later. Hit those lights, will you? Oh, yeah.
You wouldn't have any help with us here, right? You wouldn't have any help with us.
She said she's really sick.
Oh, no, don't even go there.
Yeah.
So she isn't here at all.
No.
All right, you got a second then?
Sure.
All right, my sister just got, I don't know if there's a letter,
I don't want to move into the Sarah.
Just let them see what, check, or, yeah, a refund check.
That's the same.
We delivered it.
We are.
You gotta step into that. I wrestled.
Okay, that's
You're
real
the one
weird.
who just got
Okay.
to tell me.
And then another one,
So like every once in a while, like I've seen it probably half a dozen times in my career, somebody writes in a
I didn't tell
cancellation.
you.